Alright, I'm taking now the Maamar, which has the same title in a book of Maamar of the Rabbi Rashab. And it's called the Havin Indian Rashbi or Lag BaOmer. And it talks about the idea of Lag BaOmer. Okay, now, what is Lag BaOmer? Lag BaOmer is the giving of the secrets inside of the Torah. Lag BaOmer was the day that most of the secrets of the Zohar were given. That was the day that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai passed away. The day that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai passed away was not a day that he just, it's faded away and he just got weaker and weaker. But he was laying on his deathbed and he told everybody to come, and all of a sudden he started saying these amazing secrets, and the house was surrounded by fire. Only certain people could go in, and it was an awesome experience that was there. And the people that, in order to remember what he said, you had to be a tremendous, genius and Kabbalist and etc. So that day was the day that most of his secrets, or the in quality were revealed. Quantity, the most of the Zohar was written when he was in the cave, but the quality secrets were revealed on that day. So what was
Rabbi?
Huh?
It's Idra Rabba?
The Idra Rabba and the Idra Sutra. To tell you the truth, I don't know which one was written in which day. Idra Rabba and Idra Sutra. Idra is like the room, the big room, or the big group, and the small group. I don't know which one was written on which day. But that's what they say, that on that day it was given over the quality secrets of the Zohar. So, what was that day? That day, according to Judaism, was the highest day in Rabbi Shimon's life. It was like the sum total of his whole life, all of his wisdom, all of his experience, all of the revelations that he had given were like nothing compared to that day, because everything had built up. And this day was the sum total of the whole life, plus more, something like a minyan of people. And there's a minyan of people. There could be one holy person, 2 holy people, 5 holy people, 9 holy people. Right? When that 10th person comes, it's a totally different thing. It's not like a bigger number by 1. It's a different dimension. It's a whole totally different dimension in this. So that's what happened on the day that Rabbi Shimon lived. What was this day that Rabbi Shimon lived? It was Lag BaOmer. What is Lag BaOmer? Lag BaOmer is Hod Shebachod. I explained this last night to a few other people. What is Hod Shebachod? Hod Shebachod is what's called the end of the main emotions. The end of the main emotions. What are the emotions? The emotions are Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod. Hod. Those are the main emotions, the 5 main emotions they're called. What do we learn of the 5 main emotions? First of all, it's hinted at in when we say by Yevorach David every day. L'cha Hashem HaGedula, HaGevura, HaTiferes, HaNetzach, HaHod. Right? So the L'cha Hashem HaGedula, HaGevura, HaTiferes, HaNetzach, HaHod. And then we say B'Kol B'Shamayim Ha'aretz. That Kol B'Shamayim Ha'aretz represents Yesod, but it's not stated clearly. Right? L'cha Hashem HaMalucha. That's afterwards, but the main...
That's Malchut?
That's Malchut. The main focus is on these 5 emotions. These 5, those are the main emotions. So that's called the body of the emotions. Even on the human body, how does it go? The human body, the head, represents Chachma Bin and Das, intellect. The emotions are the whole body. Right? Where does the body? How does the body reach up to? The body goes. The right arm is called Chesed. The left arm is Gevura. The body is Tiferes. The right thigh is Netzach. The left thigh is Hod. Right? And that's the body. After that, Yesod is already the organ of procreation. That's already going outside of the body. And Malchus is the mouth. That's even more outside of the body. That's a external connection. What? Head is Chachma Bin and Das.
So mouth is king.
The emotions are the body, huh?
So mouth meaning speech?
Speech.
That's kingship.
That's kingship, right. Speech. Because both of them are a connection outwards. Yesod is a connection outwards, but an internal, personal connection outward. And speech is already impersonal. It's all you can stop. Person you can talk, you can record a person's voice, you can hear him what he said 100 years ago.
So how is the organ external?
The organ of reproduction.
Uh-huh.
Reproduction. That's the whole purpose of that organ, is only to connect externally and to give birth to children. Right? Doesn't express your personality like your thighs or this. Right? It's an external thing. Same thing with speech. Speech is a person can live very fine if he doesn't speak. And that's why the bris is over there. That's exactly the reason why the bris is in that place. Because most people think of, it's a joke, it's a dirty thing, it's not nice. And that's where the bris is. That's the holiest part of the human body, in a way. Because it goes outside, and it's the organ of procreation. You can do with that organ, you can have children. That's where we come from. That's where we come from. So,
That's what it's called, the crown of kingship also?
no, I never heard that before.
The crown is like the kingship?
No, it could be. It has its own thing.
I have a question, Rabbi. We're always supposed to have two signs, right? So bris is one sign, and then you have tzitzit, right? On Shabbos, no, it's not the tzitzit.
Tefillin.
Yeah, tefillin. And on Shabbos, the sign is Shabbos. And what about in the mikvah? It's because you had tefillin during the days, that was the second sign?
I mean, you don't have to put on tefillin all the time. You don't have to have tefillin on all the time.
Yeah.
But what about when you take off your tefillin? You also want to have one sign.
Yeah.
Okay, right?
Yeah. That's why I was wondering if there's another one.
You don't have to have two signs all the time. All the time. You just have to, once a day, you have to either put on tefillin, and Shabbos is all good.
I just wonder if like the yarmulke or something,
No.
tzitzit or something.
No. All right, so let's get back to the subject. Here we have. So Sfirat BaOmer. If you ever looked at Sfirat BaOmer, you see that it's written over there these little spirot, right? Today is Chesed Shebechesed, Gevur Shebechesed, Tiferet Shebechesed. You know what those mean? We should have talked about this in the beginning, but I sort of took it for granted. Do you know what these mean? What are these different little Kabbalistic words over there? You ever see that? It says today is Chesed Shebechesed, Gevur Shebechesed, Tiferet Shebechesed. Yes? Alright. Each one of these spirits, not too late. The whole idea of Sfirat BaOmer is supposed to be purifying your personality. Purifying your emotions. How do you purify your emotions? By thinking about Hashem. The more that a person thinks about God and in a realistic way, the more he purifies his personality. For instance, what's the cure for not ever getting depressed? Thinking about Hashem. You think about Hashem, you get happy. If you think in a real way. What's the way not to get angry? Think about Hashem. You think about Hashem, the whole world belongs to Hashem. What am I trying to control everything for? Hashem is He's the controller. Right? You think about Hashem, you don't have any lust for all sorts of things. Why? Because Hashem provides me with what I need. Right? He's the Zonim of Arnis to call. He'll give me what I need. I just have to do what I'm supposed to. I'm not supposed to have lust for everything other people's things. So if you think properly about Hashem, that's the way to clean up your act. Not only your act, but the actor.
In order to receive the Torah.
Right, so we are purifying refining our personalities. Right? So first of all, you have to purify chesed, that's love. Then you have to gvur, that's power. Then tiferes is our goal, balance. Our balance. Then netzach is what we overcome. There's not to pay any attention to obstacles. Challenges. But overcoming challenges. Hod is surrender. Sometimes you have to realize, hey, I'm wrong. Right? Maybe this person is right. Maybe the Torah is right. Maybe I shouldn't try to be boss over everything. Right? Hod. Hod is surrender. Yisod is connection. What you're connected to. What you're interested in. Hod. And Malchus is action. My deeds. How I actually do things. But each one of these 7 aspects also contains 7 facets. And each one of those also contains 7. And each one of those also contains 7, so there's no end, but we don't count all those. All we do is count 49. Why 49? Each one of those 7 facets that I talked about, love and power and balance and beauty and they say victory and surrender and connection, each one of them also has 7. So in other words, there's 7 ways of expressing your love. In general. You can express it in a totally loving way, you can express it in a forceful way, right? You love your child, therefore you say, no, you cannot go to the gang war tonight, I'm not going to let you go. You right? There's a tiferes, you can give your love in a balanced way, in a beautiful way. Right? Giving love in the way that the person can accept it. Tiferes. You can do it in love and to overpower. The person doesn't like you, don't like you, but you love him anyway, and I'm going to overpower. Hod means, okay, I'll love you on your terms, right? I'll let him go to the gang war tonight, but tomorrow, I'll give up. I'll give up. But first of all, I'll call up the other people and I'll tell them, only to bring water guns or something like that. So that's Hod means I'll surrender. I have my opinion, but I'll surrender. I'll give in to my boss. I'll give in to the Torah. I'll give in to the right. Yesod means how you're connected. So these are there's 7 ways of expressing your love. Right? Then there's 7 ways in general of expressing your power. You can express power in a loving way. You can express it in a powerful way. To yell at people you don't like. Sometimes you want to express power. You want to change the situation. Like there's 7 ways of doing it. Then beauty. Beauty can express in 7 ways, etc. So that's what's called let's take love. The second word is the thing you want to express. So it's chesed, shibbe chesed. The kindness which is in chesed, like the President of the United States. Then you have the Vice President of the United States. Then you have the Treasurer of the United States. Then you have the General of the United States. You have so that's chesed, which is in chesed. The Gevura, which is in chesed. Tiferes, which is in chesed. Netzach, etc. All these are the 7 aspects which are in the 7. Very nice. Good. Everything. So every day is a different emotion. It's supposed to be, I should have said this right. Even every day is supposed to be, it's not too late, we can still do it. Every day is supposed to be that you look, before you do spiritual homework, you look at what the Spirit is. You think, what does this mean? How can I relate this to myself? How can I identify this in myself? How can I purify it in myself? Right? How can I connect myself to Hashem? Right? Some people, let's say, they're stubborn. They're stubborn. I'm going to have my way. I'm going to do what I want. Maybe you have to have a little more hold, a little more surrender. Don't be so stubborn. Right? There's other people that they have no opinion about. They're okay, I'll do it. Right? Not nice people come along. Okay, I'll go along with you. This I'll do. They have too much hold, too much surrender. They have to work on that. Right? Right? There's some people that they can't get interested in something. They have to fix up their yesod. They have no, they're not constant. All the time they're interested in this, then they're interested in that. That's yesod. You have to fix up the yesod. And so it is everybody has to fix up all their personality all the time. There's no end to how much we can love God and get power from God and get balance from Hashem. Right? There's no end to these ways. So every night that we count is supposed to be thinking about how can I attach this aspect of myself and do it in the way that Hashem wants. Why should we do the way Hashem wants? What's the point? Why? Because we Jewish people believe that Hashem is the creator and that He's creating us all the time and that He has a plan for His creation and that if we connect ourselves to the Creator, then we will be functional people. Right? You can buy yourself a brand new Ferrari, and you can also take out the pistons and use it for mashing potatoes. They'll probably be good potato mashers. But that's not what it's made for. Right? It's not what it's made for. Hashem made us for a certain purpose, to be happy in the world, to be meaningful in the world, to be productive in the world. Right? Not to be stubborn, or to be mean, or to be angry all the time, or to be depressed all the time. Hashem didn't create us to have lust all the time, to have a good time all the time, right? To be the boss all the time, and I'm always right, or I'm always wrong, or I'm always, right? To be hung up, and Hashem didn't create us for that. So if people do what Hashem wants, life becomes more alive. Usually, you won't be lazy. The person that really believes in Hashem will never be lazy. Those people who are lazy, they don't want to work, and they say lazy. So they excuse. A person can accuse themselves also. You put on garments like a chassid or whatever, and that can be your excuse for everything. Everything you do, right? Hate people, and you just have to find the place in the door. Oh, policy. I can hate people in this. Is that okay, right? I can hate him, right? You're just looking for a chance to hate somebody. Can't hate this guy, can't hate this guy. And then you can make up somebody you can hate. Right? Or you can put on this, you're looking for the whole way to express your lust. So you say, one second, this I can't do. But this I can eat as much chicken as I want? Yeah, sure. Okay, that's it. Let's just go for what? Make as much money as I want? Yeah. Fine, so what it says you can, if your children don't act properly, it's permissible to spank your children. Oh yeah? Can do this every day. So that's called, okay, now let's get to what we're talking about. Every day, the main emotions we said were up to Hod. After Hod is going outside. So the week that we count, Spirit Omer, this week, we're counting all the 6 aspects of Hod. Hod. Hod is the best. Lag BaOmer is the lowest aspect of Hod in Hod. Hod Shiba Hod. Right? We have Chesed of Hod, Gvura of Hod, Tiferes of Hod, Netzach of Hod, and then Hod Shiba Hod. Hod Shiba Hod. Hod Shiba Hod means that up to now, every night we've purified another one of our emotions by connecting them to Hashem. When we get to Hod Shiba Hod, it means we've fixed up all of the internal emotions. The external emotions we haven't fixed up yet. We haven't gotten to Yesod Shiba Hod, we haven't got to anything of Yesod at all. Right? So we fixed up Hod Shiba Hod. Those are the internal emotions. The eternal emotions, those are the inside of your personality. The only way to really purify the inside of your personality is by connecting it to the inside of the Torah. The inside of godliness. The outside of your personality, you can just go to one of these self-help places, or whatever, what do they call it? Tony Collins, what's that? Perkins?
Yeah.
Whatever. It's one of these self-help
Robbins.
Robbins, Tony Robbins. And he can tell you how to fix up your actions and maybe your speech, and maybe just to be a nice guy and to always be positive and get your company on the top of the thing and be the best fighter or the boxer or something like that. Those are your actions, how to get along in your way, in your home, how to act properly, how to this. That you can fix up externally. Alcoholics Anonymous and that'll fix up what you're connected to. But if you really want to fix up your internal emotions, the inside, to really fix yourself up, to be attached to it, then you have to have the inside of the Torah. That's what the inside of the Torah is for. The inside of the Torah, Paninius the Torah, the inside of the Torah, that's to fix up your inside of the emotions. What are the inside of the emotions? Everything in the Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes, Netzach, and Hod, up to Hod Shiba Hod. Those are the inside. So Hod Shiba Hod is the day of that the inside emotions have been finished purifying. That's the day that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai gave the Zohar, the inside of the Torah. Then we count the rest of Hod, right? We count Yesod of Hod and Malchus of Hod, and the next week, 2 weeks, we count all of Yesod and then all of Malchus, and then it's given the outside of the Torah. So when we purify the inside emotions, after we finish that, we get up to Hod Shiba Hod, then the inside of the Torah was given. And when we purify the outside emotions as well, then the outside of the Torah was given. That's the Torah on Mount Sinai. Huh? That's the holiday of Shavuot, right, when the Torah was given. So we have the Panimis of the Torah, the outside of the Torah. Good. You can ask yourself a question, how can you compare the two of them? I mean, one of them is that God gave it himself, everybody was shaking, they went out of Egypt. It was an awesome thing. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was one person, it wasn't such a big thing, right? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Lahavdil, maybe, to separate, we can say, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was like, Lahavdil, all the other religions, what's all the other religions of the world? One guy came along, and he started talking, and he convinced people, and he said, the Lord revealed himself to me, and everybody believes. And that's something like what happened with Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, right? The big difference, of course, is what did Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai say? What did he say? He said all these inside secret things. He wasn't trying to change anything, right? On the outside of the world. He was trying to change only the inside world. Who you are, how you can actively connect yourself to Hashem in a happy way, in a productive way, in a way that will inspire you to love every Jew, in a way that will inspire you to learn more Torah, right? In order to inspire you, but to do it with all of your heart and your lave, your heart, and your soul, and your might.
Didn't he get that from Har Sinai though, as well?
Everything was given from Har Sinai, of course.
So,
Everything was from Har Sinai. But nobody else got it. You know, he was the only one that, right, got it. Mashiach is also from Har Sinai, but nobody else revealed it.
Right.
And only he had the power to reveal it in a real way. So, for instance, I could sit here and I could teach you the Zohar, and I think that there wouldn't be anything, you know, like Rabbi Shimon. Maybe if you were complete, total beginners, so you think, wow, this is amazing. But after a while, you got a little bit of knowledge, you realize that you're just like me. Everybody's the same thing. Rabbi Shimon wasn't like that. Rabbi Shimon, people, no matter how much they knew, like I said, these Tanaim, they could raise the dead. These people, they got to Rabbi Shimon, no matter how much they knew, they realized how far away they were from Rabbi Shimon. The more they knew, the more they realized they just couldn't fathom his greatness. So that's what they said, Rabbi Shimon, you're the face of God, you're the Shabbos. So the giving of the inside of the Torah was something like the giving of the outside of the Torah. Right? Because when the inside of the Torah was given, the outside of the Torah also was given through Moshe, but in that case they all felt Hashem. These people had already felt what you can from Har Sinai. They were religious people, they were super religious people. These were people that could do miracles. They were amazing people. Right? But what they were missing was the true inside of the Torah. They were already inspired enough to change their action and their speech and their thought and even their nefesh, ruach, neshama, and chaya, but they didn't have the level of yechida. And they realized that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai did have it. And they could appreciate it. And that's why they got this. That's sort of the difference between Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and the Rebbe. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he explained the inside of the Torah, and they were all vessels for the inside of the Torah. And they just couldn't imagine how could there be such a person like this. Right? And so they were always receiving from Rabbi Shimon, they wanted to receive more, so they praised him, you are God, you are this, the face of God. Right? It says 3 times a year you have to go up to the mountain to Jerusalem to see the face of God. Who is the face of God? What do you mean who's the face of God? Jerusalem, you have to go to the face of Mikdash. It's not Rabbi Shimon. What do you mean? You can't say that. Rabbi Shimon is the face of God. It says in the Torah you have to go 3 times a year to Jerusalem, to the mountain, to the base of Mikdash, and you have to see the face of God. Yes, that's true. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he lives in Miron. You're talking about the face of God is not in Miron, it's in Jerusalem, right? It's in, you can't say that. But they did. Why did they say such a thing? Because they meant it. It was real. If you wanted to see the face of Hashem, the only way to do it was from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. That was it. In fact, in a way, going up to Jerusalem wouldn't give you the same experience as seeing Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Because people went up to Jerusalem and afterwards they did all sorts of sins. But Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was there to fix the inside of people. Right? After the Jews got the Torah on Mount Sinai, they all worshipped the golden calf. Rabbi Shimon was there to change people's kishkis inside.
What's the difference between
Like the old saying, you can take the Jews out of Egypt, but you can't take the Egypt out of the Jews. Rabbi Shimon's job was to take the Egypt out of the Jews. To make the Jews not feel, what's Egypt? Selfishness. I'll do what I want. I have my ideas. I have my feelings. Right? I'll go around and I'll look for a rabbi until I can get the right answer. Until I can hear what I want to hear. That's called Egypt. And I know what I want. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's teachings are designed to make a person not feel this Egypt anymore. But what? It's internal. It's inside. What's the thing of the Rebbe? The Rebbe wants to bring these things into everybody, not just these great Tanaim. That every person, the most simple person in the world, the biggest sinner in the world, can get connected to Hashem. And you have these Chabad houses in India where these people are doing idolatry and taking drugs and doing looking for a bear. There's not enough sins that they can't do. And then the Chabad house over there, a guy goes into the Chabad house and all of a sudden he says, yeah, Shalom Aleichem, Shema Yisrael. Right? He starts to be happy that they don't even cry, they don't even do tshuva. Right? They just say, oh, I'm not doing that stuff anymore. I'm not going to the temple, right, worshipping the god of the frogs or something. And I'm not taking drugs anymore. I'm putting them on film. They don't even do tshuva. They don't even say, I'm sorry, I made a big mistake. They just, one day we're doing this, next day they just, and they're learning Chassidus, they're understanding. It's a whole different world. That's what the Rebbe wants. The Rebbe wants that everybody will be able to get this feeling of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, but in the streets, everyone. So therefore the Rebbe doesn't demand that the people who understand him are like of a tremendously high level, because every Jew is a high level. Okay, let's go. Let's do this again. Okay, let's do it one more time. Zion. Al pi kolanal, according to everything we said above, Yuvan will be understood. Hakesh, or the connection.
We have extra.
Huh?
Extra.
Oh, yeah.
I think I lost my mind.
All right, okay. Here.
How much should I put in?
You lost it. All right, what do we have? Here we go. According to this, we can understand the connection to BaOmer. Oh. Here we go. Yuvan will be understood. Gam, also a kesher, the connection, the histalkus of the passing away of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, im Sfiras HaOmer, with the Sfiras HaOmer. Why? Until Sheyom Histalkuso, the day that he passed away, Nikra is called Alpi Minhag Yisrael, according to the custom of the Jews.
We've done the entire Zion.
Torah, yes, we did almost, we did not get to the end. I just wanted to go over it in a quick way. It's called BaOmer. It's not called the 18th day of Iyar, which it is. The explanation is like this. That the service, the Sfiras HaOmer, of counting the Omer, he is birur, refining amidos, the emotions, the nefesh bahamis of the animal soul, of your ego. That was your natural human soul. But it says emotions, so we have to purify these emotions. But not just even though, but the opposite. Mitzad zeh, because of this, davka, only the mitzvah zo, in this mitzvah, only we say, quote, Al yedei zeh yushpashah Rabbi kol olamos. Do you remember that? Where do we say that? Does anybody have a siddur over here?
Rabbi Shalom.
Yeah.
The Spirit of
Right. And the end of the Spirit of the Omer, we say, they even have a song about it. Al yedei zeh yushpashah Rabbi, yushpashah Rabbi kol olamos. Al yedei zeh yushpashah Rabbi, yushpashah. Oh, we forgot to sing the songs. You know, we used to sing a song before every class.
We used to be
Those were the days. Here it is, here. BaOmer kol Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, BaOmer kol Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. That song was written by the Ben Ish Chai.
Oh, yeah?
It was written by the
Rabbi Shimon Bar
Rabbi Yosef
Yochai.
Chaim in Baghdad. He wrote that song. Okay, here we go. See, this is Sfiras HaOmer. Sfiras HaOmer. After you finish Sfiras HaOmer every day, I hope you've been saying this, rabbis. It says, Rabbona Shalom, Master of the universe. Ata tzivisanu, you have commanded us through Moshe, your servant, to count Sfiras HaOmer, to purify us from our evil and uncleanness. As you've written in your Torah, you should count for yourselves on the day following the day of rest, following Pesach, Omer, for 7 full weeks. Until after the 7 weeks, you count 50 days, so that the Jewish people's souls will be cleaned from their impurities. Therefore, my beer will, that in the merit of Spirit of Omer, which I counted today, the blemish which I have caused in the Spirit of, and then you say, Chesed Shebegabura, Netzach Shebehod, whatever it is, should be purified. And may I purify and sanctify with supernal holiness. Then it says, Al yedei zeh yushpashah Rabbi, yushpashah Rabbi kol ha'olamos. By means of this, there will be a tremendous flow of godliness in all of the worlds. All of the worlds, and to fix up our nefesh, our ruach, and our neshama from every impurity. May it purify us with your holiness. Amen. That's what we say every night. If you didn't say it up to now, you're going to start to say it. There's a whole Right? You say you say a psalm of King David, you say Ana B'Koach, and then you say this paragraph. Beautiful paragraph. Look it over and think about it. But what does it say over there? Al Yedzeh, by means of this, that I purify my animal soul, Yushpa Shefa Rab, there's going to be a tremendous flow of godliness in all the worlds. Now this at first does not make any sense. If you think about it, it doesn't make any sense. A person, let's say, was really bad, he was a criminal, and he goes into jail, and he fixes himself up, and he's hurt people, and he did bad things, and he comes out of jail, and they say, okay, you've been in jail for 15 years, and they give him a new suit, and $50, something like that, and they say, okay, now don't do it again. He says, okay. Now he comes out, what is he? He's a jailbird, he's a convict, hard for him to get a job, he has this. He did a bad thing, but now at least he paid back society, and he says, I'm not going to do it again. And he's older, and also, but he's, sort of, how do you say, like a squeezed lemon. He says, Here the Rabbi is saying exactly the opposite. If you did sins, and if you had bad things, you had a bad personality, if you fix it up, then you're an infinitely better person, and the world is a better place. Not just a better place because there isn't such a person like you in it, right? You're bad. You've improved the world by just getting rid of the bad things, because you've connected yourself to Hashem. It's something like a lot of these people that are in Alcoholics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous, they say that to go back and to do what they did, they would never do it if you gave them $1 billion. But to give up the fact that they were there and that they changed themselves, that they wouldn't give up for $1 trillion. Because that they fought the dragon, they looked at the snake in the eyes, and they conquered it, says that means they had to be a totally different person. Right? Up to now, they weren't able to overcome their impulses and their urges and their weaknesses and their blemishes, and they couldn't do it. Anytime the desire came up to get mad, they'd get mad. Anytime the desire came up to go after something, they would do it. And they couldn't overcome it. It was too much. Right? So how did they do it? They looked into themselves and they realized they had to connect to God. That's also Alcoholics Anonymous. They realized they had to connect to Hashem. They wouldn't give this up for anything. Now all of a sudden they always have to be connecting themselves to a higher power all the time. They say, that's amazing. Now finally they feel they're a human being. Before they were the animal. Now so by means of this, here we're talking about not something on such a low base thing. We're talking about a person fixing himself up in order to serve Hashem. It says that's what it means. That there's an advantage to light when it comes from darkness. If a person was always a tzaddik and he just works more and learns more Torah, that's great, that's wonderful. But it's not the same thing as if a person was a sinner and he purified himself. That's an amazing novelty that can't be explained. It says by taking a low thing and raising it up is great. So if you have a lot of problems in your personality, you get angry easily, you get depressed easily, you get this. So you should know that Hashem has given you a big gift. Namely, that you now have to turn to Hashem to overcome this. And when you do, it says, when you do this, there's a tremendous flow of godliness in all the worlds. So by transforming the bad, there's a tremendous flow of godliness that there couldn't be otherwise. Yes?
So the lower a person sings, the higher he can actually achieve.
He can, yes, but do not make the mistake of, may his name be blotted out forever, Shabtai Tzvi. That he said that people can do sins, and they should do sins, and that by means of doing sins, that raises you up.
If
you do tshuva. But of course, when a person does sins, what does he do? He thinks to himself, well, I got a lot of sins, now I can raise myself up. But you know what? Maybe I'll do a few more sins, and then I'll really raise myself up. Right? And then I'll really just spring right back up there. But for now, let's go right to the, whatever it is, to the rave party or something. Let's go. And then after that, they say, I've been doing this for already 80 years, and I'm already old, so maybe I'll do tshuva. But you know what? As long as I have a little bit of youth in me, so maybe one more night, and then I'm just going to tear them up, and I'm going to do tshuva. And it never really comes up. It's like, okay, that's it. Now I'm going to do tshuva. That's it. It doesn't even say Shema Yisrael. So of course, when a person gets used to things, and then afterwards he forgets about doing tshuva. What is this tshuva business? What are you talking about? Maybe who says there's God? Who says there's Torah? Who says there's mitzvah? I'm living. I'm alive. I don't know what you're talking about. You just sunk. You guys, you sunk. So it's true. When you purify yourself, but what does it mean purifying yourself? It means stopping doing the bad things and attaching yourself to Hashem and to the Torah and to the mitzvahs and to the Rebbe.
Help people.
Let's go. So it says, Shefa, or Shua, or, but not just a or. Next page. Not just a light, which is an or, which is just a ray alone. And a shefa. What's a shefa? A shefa means a flow. We didn't do this yesterday. We didn't explain it. A flow. What's a flow? When you take water and you pour it out, that's called a flow. The same water that was up here comes down there. That's a shefa. What's or? Or means you take a picture of somebody, right? The picture is inside of your camera, right? So you have inside of your camera, here he is, Winston Churchill. There he was out there, now he's in my camera. He's not in your camera. That's just a ray. That's not the same thing. A shefa of godliness is when godliness, the same godliness up here comes down here. It's a shefa. Or means it's just a ray of godliness comes into this world. A little feeling. V'yaterem or even more, shefa rav, a big flow. Because it's a big flow, mitzad ribushlo, because there's so much of a flow of godliness. Hu nimshach, it is drawn, the nishpa, and flows, the kol almost into all the worlds. What does it mean, all the worlds? Usually a person does a mitzvah, so that it stays in the upper world, so you get the reward after you die. You don't see what the is when a person fixes himself up, it affects all the worlds, ad the olam hazeh atachton, until this physical world. And this physical world group itself, the lowest place, remember there's nothing lower than it. Like we see Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai with nizikim, with damages. We can say, this is the connection between Yemei Sfira, between the days of Sfira BaOmer, Ube'em Gufa, and the days of the Sfira themselves. I'm going fast because we did these yesterday. Yom Lag BaOmer. What is Lag BaOmer? So to the end. The Tashlum, the completion, Ha'avodah of the service of Sfira BaOmer. Sfira BaOmer really ends at Lag BaOmer. What do you mean? That's not right. That's not so. Sfira BaOmer ends on Shavuos, not at Lag BaOmer. Shavuos is Lag BaOmer is like 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks before Shavuos. Why does it say it ends? Because this is the Ikri Amidos. These are the main emotions, like I explained at the beginning of the class. The 5 main emotions. That's purified up to Hod Shebahod. That's established Rashbi. Because of Od social Rashbi, the work of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was l'rapeh, to heal, u'levatel, and to negate, and the mechitzos, the divisions, shebein kol inyanim, between everything. That you don't see the oneness of God. Hashem is one. When you see that everything is one, then that's truth. Hashem is really one. And Rabbi Shimon, but we don't see it because everything is divided up. Rabbi Shimon's job is to remove all of these divisions, like we said before. Remember, mechatzti ba'nirpa. Bal'amshik, on the draw down, milamayla, from very, very high, ad lamatamata, until very, very low. Rabbis, tonight go over the Maamar. Go over the Maamar. Like I said, the followers of the Alter Rebbe, they used to go over Maamar 500 times, and these were geniuses people. The Rebbe is not just a wise person. The Rebbe is not just a tremendously gifted scholar. We're talking about holiness. It's like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. It's a different type of human being. It's not that. It's like the difference between the Beis Hamikdash and the Eiffel Tower. Like that's the difference between the Rebbe and us, or the Rebbe and everybody. Read the Maamar and go over. I'm telling you that the pupils of the Alter Rebbe, they were geniuses. They knew the whole Torah. They knew all the Babli and the Yerushalmi by heart. Right? And nevertheless, they would go over the Maamar of the Rebbe, of the Alter Rebbe, 500 times. Some of them will go 500 times.
This was the Alter Rebbe?
This is the Rebbe. Same, but it's the same thing. This is the Rebbe now. This is the Rebbe.
Each Maamar.
The Maamar was written.
This Maamar was written by the Rebbe Shlita. This Maamar was written by the Rebbe. Huh?
Based on an old Maamar.
There's a lot of Maamar, sure, that are called the same thing. Sure.
So who wrote the original Rabbi Shimon?
The Alter Rebbe wrote Maamar on almost all the topics. Right? But the way the Rebbe writes is from a different angle.
He quotes this one. He quotes the other one? Or
in this Maamar, the Alter Rebbe does not quote the Rebbe does not quote the Alter Rebbe. He quotes the Rebbe Rashad. Okay.
500 times?
He's done 500 times, yeah. He's still on the Maamar 500 times until they really felt they got the point. So let's say we won't 500 times, but at least you can learn. You go over it in the nighttime. Right? So you can go over it 4 times. At least go over it another time. Let's go. Mata, below, Mibichis Eitan, to draw down very, very low, from. See the first word in line, Mibichinat? From the level of Eitan, into Bechinat Oretz. From the level of Eitan, which we said was Yechida, into the level of Oretz. In this only Begillah stands in a revealed way. The Yom on the day, Stalkuso, of the passing away, which is Lag BaOmer. Which Inyan? The Inyan of drawing from the highest possible level to the lowest. Because that's the job of the Jews, to take the lowest things and to put meaning into them. Godliness, come over, like it's explained in Ageras HaKodesh, like it's explained in the Ageras HaKodesh of Admor Zaken. I don't think we did this. We didn't do this year. We didn't do this yesterday.
No.
No. Like it's explained in Ageras HaKodesh, in the holy letters of Admor Zaken. Where are the holy letters of Admor Zaken? Where are they? Netanya.
Chapter 27.
Where it explains Shebiyom Yistalkus, to the day that a tzaddik passes away, or any person passes away, Hine behold, call avodas ha'adam, all the service of man. Asher avad, that he worked, b'meshech yemei chayav, in the course of the days of his life, omed, as they stand, begilui, in a revealed way. Kefi, like, shehi, it is. Here, you can write this down. Moshe Tzvi, write it down. Huh? Write it down. There's no more. Kefi, like, shehi, it is. Bishorsha, in its source, umakora, and its origin. All of the things that a person has hidden inside himself, his uniqueness, come revealed on the day that he passes away. And this is revealed in long length, b'derushi, in the Derushim. Here he mentioned the Alter Rabbi, and here it's mentioned in long length in the Maamorim, Lag BaOmer of Lag BaOmer. Derushi in the Maamorim. In the what? Derushim? Derushim in the teachings. In the teachings of Lag BaOmer, but it means the Maamorim of Lag BaOmer. The Sidur and the Sidur of Admor, Admor and Said, according to the teachings of the second Rebbe of Chabad. Mittler Rebbe. Taking the highest things and bringing it to the lowest, and the lowest things in the world, that is what arouses the highest things. That's why the pupils, what's this Maamar? Why did the pupils of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai praise him with these crazy praises? Why? This is because the lowest things, Rabbi Shimon was just like Shabbos is holy in itself, and it affects all the other days, but still, the Jewish people add to the Shabbos. The same thing, Rabbi Shimon was holy in himself, and he affected everybody around him, but his pupils affected him also. And the same thing as Adon, Pnei Adon Hashem, the face of the Master God. Master is how Hashem is in the world. Hashem is how Hashem is above the world. Rabbi Shimon was the face of both of these together. He put them both together, the highest and the lowest. And the Rebbe says, why the highest and the lowest? But maybe the highest should be in the highest. The God should be revealed, only these high people. He says, no. Hashem wants a dira b'tachtonim. The lowest things can arouse the highest. And that's the whole idea of doing tshuva. The lowest things arouse the highest. The Inyan Zeh, this, the idea of the highest possible levels. The Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai had, namely the level of Eitan, the level of Yechida. Nimshach is drawn lamata mata, very below, until the simcha kapeshuta, until to be happy.
Simply happy.
Huh?
Simply happy.
Simply to be happy. Go on, Rabbi, we'll see, God willing, we'll go to the Miron. People are happy. You go up there, everybody's happy. They have smiles on their faces. They're all happy.
Does it mean drink?
Happiness. I told you the story. I think I told you the story. It's written in one of the Rebbe's Maamar. Maybe that's what you'll learn in the nighttime. The Arizal had a pupil called Avram Alevi, and he used to every day mourn for the Beis Hamikdash. He used to say a prayer of mourning for the Beis Hamikdash in Birkas HaMazon, where is it? Every day, on the holidays, on Rosh Hashanah, on Simchas Torah, every day when he would say a prayer, he felt the Beis Hamikdash. He went up on Lag BaOmer to Miron, and when he prayed, he said this prayer. It's a short prayer. It's a prayer that takes like 10 seconds. How long does it take? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai came to the Arizal and said, because one of your pupils, he mourned on my day of happiness, as he's going to mourn really. He's going to mourn really. In other words, he wasn't saying, Rabbi Shimon was saying, I'm angry at you. He was saying, you went to somebody's wedding and you did the wrong thing. You get evicted. It's not, you're swimming upstream. You can't do that. And if you want to, you have to, you go into you're going to go diving, you have to have a diving suit.
What happened to him?
To boost you?
Our results.
How do Rabbi Shimon?
Appear, Rabbi Shimon, what do you mean? Oh, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he appeared. Rabbi Shimon,
Appear.
the tzaddikim appear to people. There's stories with Avram appearing to people, Yitzchak, Yaakov.
Just making sure.
Yeah, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai appeared to these.
What happened? I didn't get the end of the story. What happened to him?
Somebody, his children passed away.
Oh.
Something terrible.
Oh, so he gave him a reason to really.
No, there's stories that these people appear in their bodies. Avram Avinu says Avram Avinu.
I know. Just making sure.
And this nimshach was drawn down lamata mata below until it should make you happy. It's not just a kabbalistic thing. It should make you happy. Until shemizeh, from this nimshach is drawn down simcha, joy, gedola, big, bioter, very much. Until the simcha, the joy, haporetz together, that breaks all levels. Simchas olam, poretz, that breaks through, gader, all boundaries. It's called simchat olam. Eternal joy. Ha-poretzet, which breaks through, and gather galus. I'm finishing 5 more minutes. Which breaks through all of the walls, gather, tidre, the walls or the boundaries, galus of exile. Okay, we'll just read 3 more minutes. Umevia brings this joy. This is the secret. This joy will bring Hagula Hamitit, the redemption that's true, Hashlem and complete. Ayidei Mashiach Tzidkenu, by means of Mashiach. I want to bring Mashiach by means of joy. Got to be happy. If you're not happy, force yourself to be happy. The Mashiach Asa, because the Mashiach will come. The Asva, to bring, to return, Tzadikaya, the Tzadikim, B'tshuva and Shuva. V'zeh kashur, and this is attached.
Wait, you said Shuva?
B'tuvta, in Shuva.
Ah, it's the same thing.
Huh?
It's the same thing.
Aramaic.
For Shuva.
Yeah, this is Aramaic.
For Shuva.
We had this, yes.
Yeah, we had it already in the morning. It was already in the morning. The Mashiach Asa will come, L'asva, to return, Tzadikaya, the Tzadikim, B'tuvta and Shuva. We had it before the Maamar, right? So what was it, the 3-4 paragraphs before? V'zen, this kashur is attached, kam, also in with inyan, the topic, hafatzat hamayanot, of spreading out the well springs of Judaism.
Hafatzat.
Hafatzat means to spread out, hamayanot, the well springs. In other words, to spread out not just Torah and mitzvahs, but also the teachings of Chassidut. There's Hafatzat Torah, Hafatzat Mayanot. You have to encourage people to put on tefillin, but also encourage them why they're putting on tefillin. It's not just because of our heritage or anything. They're doing it for God right now. He's creating you. God is infinitely alive. To be alive. Like it says, Emotai Atin Mar, when will come the Master? Kishiafutzo, when they were spread out. Mayanotecha, your well springs, kutza. That's the beginning of Chassidut. How did the whole Chassidut movement begin? That the Baal Shem Tov had this experience on Rosh Hashanah. His soul went out of his body, went into the chamber of Mashiach in the upper worlds, and he said to the Mashiach, when are you going to come? And Mashiach said, I'm going to come when your wellsprings are spread out. It's a pasuk from Mishlei, from Proverbs. B'meira, fast. B'yameinu, in our time, mamash really, ba'agala, titan, in our time.
Oh yeah.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.